Now, if on your 2023 bingo card you had Matty Healy going out with Taylor Swift, Arctic Monkeys headlining Glastonbury, the Rolling Stones releasing a new album, the Beatles releasing a new single, and Tame Impala randomly working with Dua Lipa, you're about to win the whole lot, mate. In general, I don't make it any secret that I do like Dua Lipa and her music. And I remember hearing Be The One for the first time back in 2015, and thinking there was something just a bit different about her sound to regular pop, and fresh to the style of pop music that she was making, which ultimately came to the forefront in Future Nostalgia, featuring those reimaginations of many fantastic 80s pop songs, coming across rather favourably instead of taken cynically from those who enjoyed the past hits, such as Need You Tonight by In Excess being typically reworked into a song like Break My Heart. And when I saw her live, she was pretty fantastic too, to be honest, with a great vocal delivery and general performance that really reflected the potential to be the huge pop star she has now become at the time back in 2018. So it's fair to say, overall, I was looking forward to hearing what Dua Lipa would bring on her third album. But to be honest, working with Kevin Parker really wasn't what I expected, or would have guessed in a million years, and maybe call that ignorance, because it does seem like a fantastic move, and what is hopefully going to be a great partnership for years to come. And if you look at any of the videos I've previously made, it's likely no surprise to anyone that I am indeed a Tame Impala fan. So if you're wondering what way the grabbing title of How Tame Impala Changed Dua Lipa's Sound came to its conclusion, well, Kevin basically put Dua into a Tame Impala song to cut it short. But I'd argue that's still being a bit unfair to Dua Lipa. Yet every time Kevin has worked with someone notable like Gorillaz with New Gold, or Thundercat with No More Lies, or even the theme track for the credits of the new Dungeons and Dragons film, Kevin is always able to imprint that signature sound on any of his appearances that we highly link with Tame Impala, of that smooth sailing synth in the background, rumbling, tumbling drum beats, and vocals that make you feel as if you're floating across the galaxy on an imaginary highway. But Dua Lipa's ability to take on new styles and adopt them into modern forms of pop, as noted in Future Nostalgia, reflected it was almost a perfect match of these two musical chameleons, at the top of their game, who know how to transform styles into something that suits them both. Except with the main change this time being Kevin is purely a producer role instead of him acting as Tame Impala as a feature. Now, to be honest, I think you could have easily had some of Kevin's vocal on this track without taking away from the main aspect of Houdini, or rather spoiling it. But I do like that it was just Dua Lipa on this one, as really I was more interested to see how she carried a song with such a signature style to it that could maybe be a bit too alternative for a mainstream pop audience, and for those crossing over who were fans of Tame Impala, almost too pop driven to appeal to them. But generally the track doesn't fall short in this sense. I think it does work well. There are a few missteps in the song where it feels like Kevin may have overstepped the mark. I mean, literally the crazy electro wave riff that hits at the last 15 to 20 seconds sounds great, but it's so loud it makes me feel as if I'm about to turn around and Kevin himself is in the room, smashing that thing out on his jazziest keyboard guitar, or guitar for short. And I think maybe that needed a bit more development for what was required of the song, as we do have pop songs that randomly take off in the last minute or so, with the most notable one coming to mind being Just Can't Get Enough by the Black Eyed Peas, which in the last 50 seconds of the song basically says, yeah, forget the past 3 minutes, it's time for some techno. But I'm sure I won't have been the only one to pick up on this, as it does stick out like a bit of a sore thumb on the track. Yeah, I suppose if you're wanting a 3-minute pop song, not every choice is going to be perfect. Unless you're the Bee Gees, of course. Yet, mentioning the Bee Gees, because of the almost 70s psychedelic synth style based Kevin typically approaches songs with, alongside Dua Lipa's appreciation for past decades of music and ability to convert them into contemporary pop. At times, this song almost sounds like someone accidentally made an ABBA song or a Bee Gees track like Tragedy. I mean, genuinely give them a listen side to side. Some of the similarities are incredibly apparent, and it kind of feels like you've shrunken Tragedy's 4-minute runtime into a 3-minute song. It's two very different approaches to songwriting and music production in many ways. It's almost like you think you've created a new pizza by combining some really out there toppings of ham and pineapple, only to discover Hawaiian pizza already exists on the other side of the world. Yet it's not really clear how you got there, or the makers of the Hawaiian pizza managed to reach the same conclusion. And I'm sure that incredibly intelligent and highbrow metaphor will make sense to someone somewhere out there. But I suppose overall Kevin managed to meld a Tame Impala song around Dua Lipa. Or maybe Dua Lipa managed to fit herself around the specific sound of Tame Impala, which she clearly likes or appreciates. And ultimately we've got this now hybrid alternative pop song in the mainstream eye for consumption, by a demographic that wouldn't usually be tuned into Kevin's previous work. And I think that's a fantastic thing for both Dua and Kevin alike. Personally, I like it, and it's a combination I didn't really see coming, but ultimately one I appreciate and certainly have enjoyed. So let me know what you thought of this track, and if this duo is something you saw coming yourself or took you by surprise also. As always, feel free to like and subscribe if you're new here. And on that note, I think I'll say ta-ra for now, and I'll see you later.